All right. All right. So I'm caught up on the comments then. I'm going to go on and talk about just for a little bit what Notre Dame has to do to win this game. Again, I'm on record. I'll continue to say this. I'm not making a score prediction. I'm not saying Notre Dame's going to win. I'm not saying anything, to be honest with you. This is purely a conversation about if Notre Dame wins, what happens to make that happen. And I thought long and hard about, if I'm the football coach, certainly I don't have the same level of football knowledge of X's and O's and schemes and those types of things as anybody on the Notre Dame or Ohio State coaching staff. Like that's not what I'm here to try to say. But I think that there are ways to schematically keep this game particularly close. And earlier on, I talked about how a lot of times I take conversations from Twitter, bring them to these channels. So if you're not following me, at Real B Belden on there, follow me on Twitter so that we can talk Notre Dame, Ohio State this week. One thing I saw on Twitter within the last couple of days is the conversation of if you are Notre Dame and you go out against Ohio State, you win the opening coin toss, and you're choosing whether to take the ball or defer to the second half. What do you do? And I thought this was an interesting discussion. And it was kind of a discussion that I think Marcus Freeman in the last couple days touched on because he was asked about it at a press conference. Again, we don't know a lot about Marcus Freeman and his answers and how seriously to take them. Is he playing coy? Is he just straight up telling you what he thinks? I don't know that we know enough about him as a head coach to be able to make those decisions. He generally said he's a defer type of a guy. Now, he didn't go out and say he's going to defer against Ohio State. So that's an interesting, don't know if he's playing the game within the game there or if generally he's just like, yeah, I'm going to defer if we win it, and I don't care who knows. For me, there are two schools of thought here. If you take the ball, I think that there's a good merit to say, you don't make Tyler Buchner your quarterback that is, making his first start in the most hostile environment that he will have played in front of the biggest stage that he's ever played on. You don't make him sit around on the sideline, wait and get antsy. He runs out of the tunnel, he warms up, and then he's good to go. And there it is. So there's a school of thought there. There's also the school of thought that's along that same line of thinking that if you go out and you defer and you kick it to Ohio State, you're giving Ohio State, without a doubt, their best unit, their offense, the chance to take the field first, the unit that they're the most comfortable in to take the field first. And, if a couple things go wrong on defense, Ohio State drives the ball 8-10 plays or hits on a big play early on. And now all of a sudden you're down 7-0. And now you're bringing Tyler Buchner in. He's already down 7-0. He's antsy. And then things can start to snowball real early and real fast. So I understand that argument for taking the ball. There's also the argument that by deferring, you let Tyler Buchner, maybe he's not the type that he's going to get antsy. Maybe he's a little calmer, cooler, more collected. And I don't think Notre Dame fans really know that much about him. Maybe you say that, we don't want our quarterback out there on the first play of the game when the stadium's going to be as loud as it's going to be throughout the game, where fans are still, raucous and coming off the tailgate and haven't cheered yet and are still bringing the energy, I guess you could say. And so you want to sit him down for a little bit, let him warm up, let him go back to the sideline, get on the phone with Tommy Rees to calm him down, whatever the situation is, go over that game plan one last time and allow Notre Dame's defense, which is its strongest. I don't think there's any argument that it's strongest unit to go out there, maybe make a big play, maybe force a punt. You get the picture. Okay. And if indeed, the first half doesn't go great for Notre Dame, if you defer and, say you're down 14 points in the second quarter and you've got the ball with 3 minutes left and you can engineer a drive to get within 7 going into halftime, knowing you're getting the ball coming out of halftime, I think you take that too. I mean, there's the 2-for-1 aspect that perhaps would allow Notre Dame, if, like I say, if they're a little shell shocked, they get behind a little bit, having the opportunity to maybe get the ball right before halftime, score, and then get the ball back first going into the second half. There's an argument for that as well. I think I'm a defer guy in this instance. Like I say, I laid out that argument. But here's what I'll say. I don't know Tyler Buchner. I don't know Notre Dame's offense as people. I don't know the personalities, and Marcus Freeman and his staff certainly know that a lot better than us. We don't know how Tyler Buchner is going to react. Maybe to a certain extent, they don't know how he's going to react either. So I don't know. I would look for Notre Dame to defer. Like I say, Marcus Freeman essentially said, I'm a defer type of a guy. But again, he could have been saying that, and then in the next sentence, but that he didn't actually say, could be thinking, but Ohio State's kind of a different animal. And so it'll be interesting to see how Notre Dame goes, whether they're going for the aggressive approach, whether they're just, if they're going to play a little bit more conservative. Interesting to see what Notre Dame will do. And I think really what we see after that coin toss is going to be indicative of Notre Dame's game plan for the rest of the game. So I'm sort of excited to see that.